Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahilladzi arsala rasulahu bil huda wa dinil haqq liyudhhirahu 'ala dini wa kafa billahi syahida wa kafa billahi 'alima. Asyhadu alla ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu allazi la nabiyya ba'da amma ba'du. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praised be to Allah. He has given us In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praise be to Allah. He has given us our health in the middle of pandemic. My salawat and blessing always to celebrate to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He decided us from darkness to brightness, from Jahiliyah era to Islamia era. Hello class, how are you today? Okay. Kami dari kelompok 3 yang akan mempresentasikan tentang morphology. Oke, kami ada 4 orang. Yang pertama saya, Cindy Salvia Somantri Putri, sebagai moderator dan materi pertama. Dan ada rekan saya yaitu Tania Nurhasana sebagai pemateri 2. Dan ada juga yang Diana Novita sebagai pemateri 3. Dan terakhir Afifah Nurul Sifa sebagai pemateri 4 atau pemateri terakhir. Baik, sebelumnya kami minta maaf kepada Miss, kami menggunakan PPT dari Miss, lalu maaf sebelumnya seperti itu. Izin juga untuk kita memaparkan presentasi. Okay, we will begin to the first materials or the first from the first materi, yaitu is saya sendiri. Okay, I will to presentation about word and word classes. Okay, we will begin our meeting. Our presentations by reciting Quran Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, for the first material is explained by me about what is morphology and word classes. Okay, morphology. What is morphology? Do you know? Morphology is the study of word structure. Jadi morphology itu adalah pembelajaran tentang word structure, struktur kata. Seperti itu. Lalu ada step-stepnya teman-teman. Step next. Dalam struktur kata tuh apa aja sih? Nah, kita akan mengetahui di sini. Nah, untuk step of text adalah yang pertama word, yang kedua phrase, yang ketiga clause, yang keempat sentence, yang kelima paragraph, yang keenam teks. Jadi dalam word structure itu ada 6 step yang tadi. Okay, what is word? Word is small unit of language. Untuk contohnya book, that is word. Okay, phrase. Phrases is the group word. What is the group word? Jadi maksudnya untuk phrase ini adalah grup kata, yang dimana untuk contohnya adalah new book. Okay. Kalau word tadi itu contohnya book, but if phrases is new book. Okay. Clause. What is clause? Clause is complete sentence, yang dimana clause itu contohnya subject dan verb. Okay, sentence is a complete sentence, yang dimana there subject, verb, and object. Okay, for paragraph, what is paragraph? Paragraph is the group of sentence or minimum. In the sentence is a complete sentence. There a subject, verb, and object. But in the paragraph is more, not only subject, verb, verb and object, but is more. Okay, so text. What is text? Text is group of all. In the text is there inside a word. Of word is of phrases, clause, so sentence, so paragraph. Okay. Now we'll to continue about word. What is word? Word is small unit of language. To continue about word. What is word? Word is small unit of language. Yang tadi kita jelaskan. Oke. Di sini ada 3. Oke, yang pertama, a linguistic meaningful element of speech or writing. Used with others or sometimes alone to form a sentence and a typically sound word a speech and on an either side when written. Oke. Sebuah elemen yang bermakna ya berbeda dalam berbicara atau menulis, digunakan dengan orang lain atau kadang-kadang sendirian, ditampilkan dengan ruang di kedua sisi ketika ditulis. Seperti itu. Lalu yang kedua, lexeme is the smallest or a minimal unit of lexicon in a language that pure some meaning. Maksudnya di sini lexeme itu adalah leksikon yang memiliki beberapa terkecil minimum dalam bahasa yang memiliki berapa makna. Jadi walaupun sama tapi maknanya beda. Jadi ada beberapa makna seperti itu teman-teman. Oke. Yang ketiga, a syntactic word is inflected variant of lexeme. Oke. Kata sintetik adalah varian tertentu dari lexeme, teman-teman. Seperti itu. Lalu, what is lexeme? Apa sih lexeme itu? Oke, kita akan jelaskan di sini ya. Lexeme adalah is a unit of the lexicon. Is a unit of the lexicon in a entry in the dictionary of vocabulary item which is an unified abstract from that underlines all is unfighted variants. Lexeme adalah satuan kosakata entry dalam kamus sebuah kosakata yang merupakan bentuk abstrak tak berimpreksi yang mendasari semua varian impleksi. Seperti itu teman-teman. Lalu ada juga untuk apa sih lexeme di sini terbagi menjadi 2 ya. Okay, the second is to distinguish lexemes from their variants. It is customary to use capital letter to indicate lexemes. Oke, letter to indicate lexeme. Apa sih maksudnya? Untuk membedakan lexeme dari varian impleksi, mereka itu adalah adat untuk menggunakan huruf. Seperti itu teman-teman, besar untuk menggunakan huruf besar untuk menunjukkan lexeme. Jadi lexeme itu terkadang memperlihatkan diri dengan cara menggunakan kapital. For example, the lexeme text underlines inflected is takers, so taking, took, and taken. Okay, word classes. Word classes is kelas kata. Okay, it studies the structure of word, however, from semantic viewpoint rather than from the viewpoint source. Jadi maksudnya itu ini mempelajari struktur kata, namun dari sudut pandang semantik, bukan dari sudut pandang sound. Seperti itu. So therefore, to notice is type word come in different classes. Jadi yang pertama untuk memberitahukan adalah bahwa kata-kata di kelas yang berbeda. Jadi semua kata itu mempunyai kelasnya seperti itu. Oke, contohnya there is verb. Ada kelas verb, ada kelas nouns, ada kelas adverb or adjective. The example for verb is to imagine. So for nouns is car. So adverb is slowly. So adjective is red. Okay. Thanks. Maybe that is from explained by me from word and word classes. The second material will explain by Fania Nur Hasana. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Pia. Now I'll explain what morpheme is. Morpheme are the smallest meaningful unit in a language. Morpheme adalah unit paling kecil dalam suatu bahasa. Okay, maybe I'll give you some illustration. Like there's a paragraph. In a paragraph, it consists of clause, and in clause, it consists of phrase, and in the phrase, it consists a word, and in a word, it consists of morpheme. And stop right there, because morpheme can divide into a part. That is why a morpheme called the smallest unit. Okay, words may consist of one or several morpheme. Dalam satu kata bisa mengandung satu atau beberapa morpheme. Okay, contohnya seperti ini. Perfect sampai dengan satu morpheme. If we add some im, kita add im jadi imperfect, itu jadi dua morpheme, because im plus perfect, imperfect, it's two morpheme. Okay, next there are kind of morpheme. There are two morpheme. There are free morpheme and bound morpheme. The first is free morpheme. Free morpheme are morpheme that can stand alone, or also called a root. Is a morpheme that is able to phrase on its own and already has a detailed meaning without another morpheme. So, primorpheme adalah morpheme yang bisa berdiri sendiri dan sudah memiliki arti sendiri tanpa bantuan dari morpheme lain, seperti itu. And here are example. Mungkin kita sering tahu ya pronoun gitu, like they, she, this, those, etc, or conjunction like and, or, if, after, something like that. And as maybe interjection seperti wow, oops, yeah, ouch, like something like that. Interjection is like a word used to express our feeling, seperti itu. Okay, bound morpheme. Bound morpheme is a morpheme that cannot stand alone. There are two kinds of bound morpheme. The first is inflectional morpheme, and second is derivational morpheme. Inflectional morpheme is a morpheme that when we use it, it's not change the meaning of a word. Like, for example, like walked. When we walk, berjalan, walked, and meaning still same, berjalan. Or book and books, buku and buku-buku. So the meaning still the same. Okay. Second is derivational morpheme. This morpheme change the meaning, affix the create new word, dan membuat kata baru atau mengganti makna sebelumnya. For example, like correct, incorrect. Correct in bahasa is benar. When we add in, it's become incorrect or salah, seperti itu. Okay, maybe that's it for me. I'm sorry if I did some mistakes when I'm presenting material. Thank you. Orator Pia.
Okay, for the third material will explain by Diana Novita. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Via. The next material is prefix. What is prefix? Prefix is an affix which is placed before the stem of word, adding into the beginning of a word, change it into another word. For example, when the prefix mono is added to the word lingual, it creates the word monolingual. Mono means one. The second, when the prefix multi is added to the word purpose and cultural, it creates the word is multi-purpose and multicultural. Multi means many. The third is when the prefix post is added to the word graduate and the war is create the word in postgraduate and post-war. Post means after. The fourth, when the prefix "an" added to the word unusual and under metric is create the word is unusual under metric. "An" means not or opposite to. Okay, the next material is suffix. What is suffix? Suffix is an affix which is placed after the stem of a word. Common examples are case endings which indicate the grammatical case of noun, adjective, and verb endings which form the conjunction of verb. Suffixes can carry grammatical information or lexical information. Teman-teman, suffix ini merupakan akhiran atau imbuhan akhir yang diletakkan setelah kata. Seperti contoh employer dan aktor. Nah, imbuhan di sini adalah IR dan OR yang digunakan untuk membentuk kata benda untuk menggambarkan orang yang melakukan sesuatu. Ada juga widen and simplify. Nah, imbuhan akhir di sini adalah IN dan EV digunakan untuk membentuk kata kerja. Ada juga reasonable, unprofitable. Nah, able ini digunakan untuk membentuk kata sifat. Nah, ada juga unhappily, naturally. Imbuhan akhir di sini adalah li, yang umumnya digunakan untuk membentuk suatu kata keterangan atau adverb. Okay, the next is infix. Infix or insertion is a word or group of words that is located in the middle of the word and from a new word emphasize in the meaning of the word. Jadi teman-teman, infix itu merupakan sisipan suatu kata atau kelompok kata yang terletak di tengah-tengah kata dan membentuk kata baru serta menekankan makna kata tersebut. Contohnya seperti kata food ditambah dengan huruf S. Nah, maknanya berubah, yang dulunya singular food berubah jadi plural feed. Ada juga contoh lain seperti knows a day. Nah, si huruf E ini diletakkan di tengah-tengah di antara know dan days. Okay, the next is circumfix. Circumfix is an affix which has two parts. The first is placed in the start of a word and the other at the end. Circumfixes contrast with the prefix attend to the beginning of a word, suffixes attended at the end. Jadi, circumfix ini merupakan suatu imbuhan yang diletakkan di awal kata dan di akhir kata. Contohnya seperti unhappiness. Circumfix di sini adalah un dan ness. Membentuk kata menjadi unhappiness. Ada juga contoh lain seperti incorrectly. Circumfix di sini adalah in dan li, membentuk kata jadi incorrectly. Okay, the next material is other word formation. First is clipping. In a linguistic, clipping, also called contraction or shortening, is a word formation by removing some segments of the existing word to create a synonym. Clipping differs from abbreviation, which is based on a shortening or written rather than the spoken from the existing word or phrase. For example, photograph, influenza, telephone, microphone, and hamburger. The second is blending. Blending is a type of word formation in which two or more words are merged into the one so that the blended constituents are either clipped or partially overlapped. An example for a typical blend is brunch, in which the beginning of the word breakfast is joined with the ending of word lunch. Other example, video plus log become vlog, smoke plus fog become smoke. The third is bag formation. Bag formation is the process of creating a new lexeme for removing actual or supposed affixes. An example, babysit from babysitter, edit from editor, laze from lazy. The fourth is acronym. Acronym is a word formed by abbreviating it a phrase by combining certain letters of the word in the phrase, often the first initial of each, into a single term. Akronim ini merupakan singkatan suatu kata yang diambil dari awal kata tersebut, seperti NATO, dalam bahasa Indonesia is NATO, yang berarti North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Ada juga BWF yang berarti Badminton World Federation. Ada juga WHO atau Indonesia WHO yang berarti World Health Organization. Begitu teman-teman. I think it's enough from me. Back to moderator.
For the last material will explained by Afifah Nurul Shifa. The time is yours.
Thank you, Fia, for the time. Now I will try to explain the last material, morphological formation. Words are formed from simpler words using various processes. This makes it possible to create very large words. There are several distinct ways in which words get formed. First is compounding. Second is derivation. Third is inflection. Jadi teman-teman, kata itu dibentuk dari kata yang lebih sederhana dengan menggunakan proses. Terdapat 3 cara dalam pembentukan kata, yaitu compounding, penggabungan, derivation, penurunan, inflection, dan infleksi. The first is compounding. What is compounding? Compounding is bringing together two root or lexeme to produce a new lexeme, like the word car and park. When interpret each word, it is a park and a car. But through a combination process, a car park is created, which means a special parkir for car. Compounding adalah menyatukan dua akar atau lexeme untuk menghasilkan lexeme baru. Artinya dari dua lexeme tersebut, jika dikombinasikan akan terciptanya lexeme dan makna baru. Compounds are found in all word classes. The most common types of compounds is noun. Car, for example, is car park and rock band, heartbreak, heartbeat. Compounds are found in all word classes. The most common types of compounds are: first is noun. For example, car park, rock band, heartbeat. And second is adjective. For example, like heartbreaking, sugar-free, air-sick, good-looking, part-time, hard-working, and etc. Third is verb. For example, like oven, bake, babysit, chain smoke, blow up, break down, take off, put away, and etc. For The fourth is adverb. For the example like good, naturally, and nevertheless. A compound word is a combination of several words which form a new word with distinct meaning or different meaning. There are three types of compound word. First is open compound word. Sum of open compound word is a combination of noun and adjective that form a new word, written separately. Jadi kata majemuk terbuka, beberapa kata majemuk terbuka adalah penggabungan kata benda dan kata sifat yang membentuk kata baru. Dan pada open compound word ini ditulis secara terpisah. For example like ice cream, high school, real estate, energy bar, yard sale, cell phone, and etc. Second is close compound word, the combination of words that written into one and didn't written separately. Yang kedua yaitu kata majemuk tertutup, gabungan kata yang ditulis menjadi satu dan ditulis secara terpisah. For example like handphone, bookstore, bodyguard, baseball, blackboard, classmate, and etc. The third is hyphenate compound word. Hyphenate are used to combine different words. Jadi kata yang ketiga yaitu kata majemuk dihubungi. Tanda hubung digunakan untuk menggabungkan kata-kata yang berbeda. For example like sister-in-law, up to date, cross check, runner up, well to do, queen size, and etc. And compound words forms are a combination of word classes. Here is another example of a word list of combination that make up compound word. Jadi bentuk kata majemuk itu berasal dari kelas kata ya teman-teman, dan berikut adalah beberapa contoh penggabungan dari kelas kata yang membentuk kata majemuk. For example like noun plus noun, landlord, bathroom, rainbow, stone wall. Jadi dalam contoh noun plus noun ini, landlord itu merupakan kelas katanya merupakan noun. Land for noun, lord and lord for noun. So in compound menjadikan landlord kata baru. And the second is adjective plus noun. Low rider, high chair, a blackbird, green tea, cold cream, and etc. Sama seperti contoh noun plus noun, namun kelas katanya berubah, itu adjective plus noun yang merupakan bisa dicampur-campur, bisa digabungkan maksud saya. And then the third is verb plus noun. For example like rainfall, scarecrow, hitman, swear word. And the last is preposition plus noun. And for example like overdose, onlooker, underdog, underworld. Jadi itulah contoh-contoh penggabungan kelas kata yang bisa digabungkan menjadi sebuah kata baru. Sebenarnya masih banyak, tapi saya hanya mengambil beberapa contoh saja. And next is derivation. We said that the derivation changes the category of the word and is a forming of new word from an already existing word by adding prefix or by suffix. Jadi derivation ini adalah mengubah kategori kata dan merupakan pembentukan kata baru dari kata yang sudah bersumbu dengan menambahkan awalan atau akhiran. For example like Republican. root, and "an" is a suffix. And then another example is like republicans. Republics for the root, and "an" as suffix, and "s" for plural. And then the first is a noun derivation. For example, like imagination, hayalan. Imagine as a root, and Asian is suffix. Freedom, kebebasan. Free as root, and them is a suffix. And then the verb derivation, and close. And is a prefix, and close as the verb and the root. Validate, meresmikan. Valid as the root, and ate as a suffix. And then adjective derivation. Example like friendly, bersahabat. Friends like adjective, and as a root, plus li as a suffix. And then another example, talkative, senang bicara. Talk as adjective, and then root, plus active as a suffix. And the last is adverb derivation. For example, like wherever, dimanapun. Where is as a root and a verb, plus ever as a suffix. Backward, yang artinya mundur. Back is as the root and adverb. Word is suffix. And then for the last material is inflection. To fit a word into a syntactic construction, it may have to undergo some change than a word in adding "as." A suffix does not change the category of that word, but thus makes more specific in category. So, in the change, that occur in the word truth, the inflection process as only in the adverb of the number. Jadi, dalam perubahan yang terjadi pada inflection, pada kata yang melalui proses inflection, hanya pada keterangan jumlahnya saja. Jadi potong. Jadi, dalam perubahan yang terjadi pada kata melalui proses inflection S, hanya terjadi perubahan pada keterangan jumlah. For example, like girls, loves, girl, root. Jadi, kata girls itu asalnya berawal dari kata girl yang hanya satu orang, yaitu singular, and using S in the end. So the word of girls is as a plural noun. In the rules, there are several inflection rules that must be applied in the change process, including dalam aturannya terdapat beberapa aturan inflection yang harus diterapkan dalam perubahan tersebut. Di antaranya, for part of speech noun, grammatical category is number, inflection is s, es, and for example like flowers and flower to flowers, glass to glasses. And then part of speech noun and pronoun, grammatical category is case, genitive, inflection is possessive s, and s. For example, like Paul to Pauls, Francis to Francis, it to is, it to its. I'm sorry. And then part of speech pronoun, Grammatical category is case, reflexive, inflection, like self, salves. Example like him to himself, them to themselves. And then part of speech verb. Grammatical category is aspect progressive, and inflection is ing. For example, like run to running. And then part of speech verb. Grammatical category is aspect for perfect. Inflection is and or ed. For example, like fall, has fallen. And then finish, finished, finished. And then part of speech verb. Grammatical category is tenses past. Inflection is ed. For example, like opened to opened, opened. And then part of speech verb. Grammatical category is tenses per present. Inflection is s. For example, like open to opens. And then part of speech adjective. Grammatical category degree of comparison comparative, and inflection is er. For example, like smart to smarter. And for the last part of speech adjective, grammatical category degree of comparison superlative, and inflection e. For example, for inflection est. For example, like smart to smartest. I think enough for me. I'm sorry if many mistake in my explanation. Thank you so much. Back to moderator.
Okay, thanks for your good attentions. Fourth question is who will to ask about our material morphology. Is asked please in the comment under YouTube. Okay, thanks for your good attentions. Thanks your supports for us. Maybe this is from the third group. I'm sorry, it's much mistakes. Wallahu muwafiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Akhirul kalam. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.